Welcome to the Business Show podcast here on Radio Newark 107.8 FM and of course on DAB. I'm Simon Gabitas, I'm one of your hosts. It's September and I'm joined again by Mr. Michael Hardy. Michael, hello, how are you?
Hi Simon, I'm great, thank you very much. Summer is over, we're now back to school and we're ready for the next phase of business.
Do you know how I can tell that summer's over? It's because you've not got your shorts on anymore.
No, I know.
That's it, it's official. We're straight into...
It's a very, very sad day when the long trousers have to come out of the wardrobe.
It's a glorious day for everyone else. No, it's the weather's definitely changing. It's an interesting day today, but the sun has disappeared for a bit. But yeah, we are into September.
We are, and September's always. I heard a bit recently about we have New Year's resolutions. Actually, September resolutions. So the start of a school year. It's the academic year. And it's actually a better time of year to make some changes and to think about the back end of this year and 2026 for this year. So actually, it's a good time to be reassessing what you're trying to do and where you're trying to get to.
I did actually see a couple of people post on LinkedIn the last few days. There was one post from a graphic designer that I know that have mentioned that he still feels, I think he's probably in his late 30s, but still feels that September he needs to go out and buy a new pencil case.
Yeah.
So that was quite nice. But is there almost this kind of like reset? You know, kids are going back to school. For us, certainly our business, summer is a time where there's delay. Stuff happens, decision makers are out of the business, and stuff gets put back. And then September, it's almost a case of, right, the floodgates open.
Absolutely.
So fingers crossed that happens for lots of other businesses locally as well.
Absolutely.
So what's happening today?
So on this month's show, we've got last month's meeting highlights. We've got the big show, big quiz. We're delighted to have Will Parkinson, the grant man from Newark and Sherwood District Council, Economic Growth Department. So Will's here to talk about grants, but we're also going to talk about a few other things with Will. What's going on around and about. We've got Who Gives a Book.
Yep.
I've got an action group update.
Okay.
And then we can talk about the May meeting, the September meeting.
As we go into the last quarter of the year, we can just jump ahead, forget the last few months.
Yeah, May 2026.
Fantastic. Can't wait for that. But in fact, that's because that's going to be the first meeting where I'm not chair, Michael.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
We're already jumping ahead to it.
Exactly.
Michael can't wait.
Who will be sat in the seat?
Who will be the new chair of Newark Business Club?
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we're going to have lots of candidates and a proper husting and all of that.
Hustings, well. Brilliant.
Okay, so let's get cracking on with our September podcast. So, last month's meeting highlights. What happened in August?
We had a really busy meeting in August. So historically, again, people are on holiday, but it appeared to work that actually, I think we got 80, 90 people for an August meeting.
It was unbelievable. Which
is great. So it was sponsored by the YMCA, which is the building that we actually host the Newark Business Club breakfast meetings from. And as a bit of a twist on this, we said, well, you know, rather than just tell us about all the things that you do in that building, why don't you show us? So they did a bit of a presentation and then we split the room up. And the way that we did it was half of the room went out and did tour. The other half went and did table networking, got to do their 60 seconds around the table. And then we split and rotated that. And actually, it did work well. We had lots of people that hadn't seen past the room that we go to, or maybe the cafe. So actually to go and see the climbing wall, to go and see all the 4G, 3G pictures, to go and see the meeting room space. Yeah. And I think that was the thing afterwards. They put, I think, a bit of an offer out and said, look, you know, Newark Business Club members, if you're interested in, you know, the collaborative meeting space, come and try it out for a couple of days free on us, basically, which is great. So great opportunity for them to shout about all the stuff they do. Like I say, we did the table networking during the tours. We had our 2-minute spotlight from Emma from Business Bollocks.
Yes.
I've said that word far too many times in business club meetings now, but apparently it's okay because it's spelt with an X. But no, it was great. And actually, Emma really frightened me because she turned up and had about 11 slides. And I said, you know, this is 2 minutes. And she rattled through it brilliantly. She absolutely nailed it. We all had breakfast, courtesy of the YMCA. So that was always nice. I think the last couple of meetings, we've had Bakkavor, who's sponsored, who brought cake. And I thought, no one's going to eat cake at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
You're joking.
Have you met me?
Well, I turned round and I think it was 8:30 and there was no cake left. We'd got through about 300 cakes.
There you go.
That was great. And of course, having breakfast on this one. So, fingers crossed to whoever keeps sponsoring these meetings. And then we gave a book away. So we did a Who Gives a Book.
Yeah, and do you know, the August meeting for me was a bit of a disaster and made me realise that you've got to be switched on all the time whenever you're going to any sort of meeting, any sort of networking. So I had a bit of a disaster. I set my alarm clock an hour late.
I was worried then because you said it was a disaster. I was thinking,
no,
it's a disaster for you.
For me. No. The meeting was good, but I think I'd got back from holiday a week before, so
Sure.
it was my first week back. Alarm went off an hour late, so rather than 5 to 6, it was 5 to 7, and I got up and I came to the meeting, and I was there for the start of the meeting, which is a pretty impressive performance in my opinion. Wife didn't quite agree with that, but actually I really struggled because my head was never there.
Okay.
Because I'd rushed to get there, my mind was all over the place. I'd not done my bit, so I stand outside and welcome people, which is part of my role as being part of the committee, and I didn't do that because I was late, and therefore I was completely discombobulated and all over the place. Sat in the meeting, hadn't thought through what I was going to say, hadn't prepared, hadn't just got myself in the right headspace. And I had a meeting straight after, which I always had to leave sort of at 9 o'clock for. And so I left going, wow, that just explains why you always have to make sure your head's clear, your mind's on it, you know what you're doing when you turn up. We do this every month and we have 80, 90 people there. And I know I didn't give the best of me in that meeting.
Interesting, yeah.
And you sort of, and me being me, I go away, then think about it and sort of, regurgitate it in my mind over and over. But I think, if you're coming to any networking, obviously the business club is the one we're talking about here, but any networking, any meeting, if your mind's muddled or you're not ready for it, you won't get the best out of it. So that was something that, just a good sense check, good reminder to me that, I can remember everything you've talked about, but it bypassed me. Yeah, if that makes sense. And
I think that's a good lesson for any kind of business and business meeting. I think early doors I was always taught the kind of failing to plan is planning to fail piece, and actually, if you've not prepared, if yes, there's always a piece of you can turn up and but actually if you have prepared, it shows.
Yes.
If you've got that information. So good lesson for
absolutely.
everything. There was actually a few people that turned up late.
Yeah.
A few people that alarms obviously weren't doing what they should have been doing in August, but they still got there.
But hey, look, so just
because of that free breakfast, it was I'm getting there.
Oh yeah, Vicky told me the week before, so there's no way I'm missing. I've set my alarm for 4.
Well, the strange thing for me is I don't usually have breakfast. I'm usually kind of running around. People are giving me extra stuff to kind of fill into the slides during the meeting, so I never have breakfast. So I made it a point to say, right, I'll have some breakfast, and I put this cob down. I had one bite of it, and then ended up really busy, left it on the side, and some of the YMCA team cleared it away. So nice. I had one bite. It was really nice.
It was lovely.
Brilliant.
Right, what's next up, Mr. Hardy?
Well, we should introduce Will, first of all, because we're about to go to our big business quiz, and we don't want to do that without Will, who's going to be part of it, to be introduced. So we just want to say good morning to Will Parkinson, the grant man from Newark and Sherwood District Council.
Good morning, Will. I feel like we need to, your business card's going to get longer and longer, isn't it? I mean, also already having kind of economic growth and the development team in there as well. I feel like, adding grant man at the end of it.
I'm sure I could find room for that.
We could be. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. No,
how are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Having a good time. I'm back by popular demand.
Absolutely,
nice yeah, keeping busy. Lots of different projects we've got going on, and the conference, which I'm going to talk a little bit about soon.
And we were just talking, just before the podcast actually, we were talking about some of the positive impact that actually this podcast has had. And I was talking about the chap that came up to me and Michael a couple of business club meetings ago.
GB Wheels.
Mr. GB Wheels, who actually said, look, I've got a bone to pick with you two. And we were a bit worried. And we looked at each other and went, what have we done now? And he just said, yeah, I listen to the podcast all the time. He was actually wanting us to kind of try and get it and explore stuff with maybe Spotify and Apple Music so that actually he can listen to it without using YouTube. But what he did go on and say is he listens to it all the time. He can't make all the meetings. He listens to the grant stuff, which is really important. And actually, he's successfully been able to access a grant. So, it's that kind of information that
Absolutely.
you go, this has really helped and support businesses. So, hello to you, Mr. GB Wheels. And yeah, no, that's great to kind of hear that kind of feedback, really.
Absolutely. Somebody does listen.
Absolutely. Well, we know. Yeah. Our marketing team keeps sending us the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. Right then, let's get going with the Business Show Big Quiz. Are you ready, Will?
Ready as I'll ever be, I think.
Simon, are you ready?
Right, let's go.
Perfect. Okay, question number 1. Small parcel import sales from China have grown from 1.3 to 3 billion in the last 2 years, driven by popular websites such as Xi'an and Temu. They've benefited from no import taxes due to items being low value. What is the amount below which import duty is not applied?
It's a great question.
It's a really good question.
So what I can guarantee is everything that you gen up on, any information that you just look at, Michael will always find something that you've not had a look at.
I think I was looking at the wrong stuff this morning.
Based on what I know about Temu, or however you pronounce that, Temu, it is all low value, isn't it?
It's really, really cheap stuff. Is this per item?
No, so the parcel, it's the value of the parcel.
Oh, okay.
Do you want it in pounds, dollars?
Pounds.
Let's go £30.
50.
135.
Wow, okay.
So anything below £135 has no import duty,
Okay.
which is quite incredible, really. And anything above that gets charged 2.5%.
Yeah.
So if we charge duty on the whole lot, we would get £75 million in revenue. But they obviously take a decision that low value items are difficult to process and the amount of time and what have you. But so that's the part of the challenge for businesses over here is that you can transfer stuff from China. Now you've got the shipping costs, but they're moving stuff across here with no import duty, so no tax on those. No tax on those items.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. So thought that was something that would catch you out and be informative as ever.
Is always the plan.
Yeah.
Okay, still on deliveries actually, but which European country has announced the end of delivering letters by the end of this year?
I think I do know this one, actually. Yeah. This is Denmark.
This is Denmark, and it's post-Nord.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you believe that? No letters being delivered in the
What
country.
was crazy about some of those stats is the previous year they were talking billions,
Yeah.
and the next year they're talking millions, and obviously now completely moving to a different way. But I suppose when I read that and when I looked at it, I then immediately thought, how does it look for us in this country? It's a conversation we have all the time because we do, as a business, we send our cards out to candidates when they've got a new job. So we go and buy stamps. And over the years, we have this conversation. Every now and again, you go, how much is the stamp? Yeah. But then you go, actually, for what you get for your stamp, you can send something from one end of the country to the other. But it is, it's fascinating that is obviously... happening. Yeah,
and at the same time, the Royal Mail, who now owned by a Czech company, I think it is, have announced for the first time in 3 years a profit.
Okay.
But that is about them focusing on their parcel business, which you'd expect, because letters are definitely, there's so many ways of communicating now without getting a pen and piece of paper and writing. So.
Well, now we're all selling all the stuff that we bought from Temu to somebody else and putting in a parcel and selling it via another website.
But it's not letters, is it? So it's not.
No, you're right.
So that whole bit of handwritten letters and the art of that as well. So
you say that from a business perspective, that's why it is so special now. Actually, if you do get a handwritten letter or a card or something, you can make a big difference. It's a conversation we've had from a sales strategy piece, and often we talk about with other people, but you can make a difference. But fingers crossed we've still got a service to offer that in the future.
Absolutely. Okay, so well done. So you both got that right. That's pretty impressive. Okay. Cybersecurity's been in the news this week. Which business sector is most at risk of cyber security attack?
Well, that took a different turn. I mean, I thought you might ask which company.
I know, that's why I've not asked that, because you'd have talked about
Jaguar Land Rover and how much that's cost and all of the stuff that I did actually have a look at. That is interesting, actually, with Jaguar Land Rover, though, and what it's done and obviously what they're doing. Again, off the back of it, I will come back to the question, but I didn't realise that Marks and Spencer's are still having problems with their website, which has caused a big problem because kids are going back to school and they can't facilitate orders for school trousers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a big piece.
I only learned that the weekend when the mother-in-law mentioned it while we were having a coffee, and she said, I'm still not able to get stuff through Marks and Spencer's. So.
What sector?
Would it be one that has a lot of customer data that kind of relies on that?
Not necessarily, actually. Kind of not necessarily.
Some kind of tech sector.
Silence is not good for.
No,
for
I know
things,
it's not.
And neither's blowing your lips together in a sort of.
Who did that? That wasn't.
I think that was you.
I don't know.
It's manufacturing.
Okay.
Which is linked to the Jaguar Land Rover, so that's what I thought you might have guessed.
Well, I was going to say automotive, which
is linked. So apparently manufacturing of and the statement I heard, which I heard it on the radio, and I rewound the radio, which is so modern.
Rewound it.
It's just like to listen to it again. The statement was that 43% of businesses had a cyber attack in the last 12 months.
Wow.
And I was like, really? 43%? But, I mean, that was the stat that was used. Now, it's not verified and what have you. But I think what that says is a lot of businesses have had a cyber attack. And, if you are a business and you will have, you'll have technology within your business, what are you doing to make sure your security is as high as it can be? Because it's the sort of thing, it's like any insurance, really, isn't it? It's only valid when you need it, but if you don't have it, it's bloody expensive to resolve the problem.
Yeah. Well, there was talk. Was it last month? There was a freight company that has been around for years, and it just took them out. They've had to go. They couldn't afford to do anything. Their systems were down. Their customers were down, and they couldn't pay the money that was being asked for, and they shut the business.
Well, Jaguar Land Rover, I mean, they stopped production, and apparently they make a car a minute.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure it takes longer than a minute to make one. Some might say it doesn't, but they get one off the line a minute.
Yeah.
So if you think of how much one of their cars is worth, it doesn't take long for it to be closed. 60 minutes, £100,000 a car, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of money, isn't it? £6 million quid of income lost.
No, it's a
every
big
hour.
thing. Big thing to businesses. We talked about the business club and talked about again. It's one of the things we're exploring in terms of speakers that can maybe come and talk to us. We've had the guys from the cybersecurity team talk to us in the past, but I think it's more prevalent now. And when people talk about it, it's not just a case of it's not going to happen to me. It's happening to more and more people.
Yeah,
so I think we probably need to revisit that one.
Absolutely.
And I'd be inclined to agree with that 43% statistic. Yeah, we had a workshop.
I'm glad you agree with my stats.
Yeah.
He makes them up half the time.
Yeah, well, you didn't pull that one out of thin air.
99% of Michael's stats are made up on the spot.
Dartboard. But we had a workshop on cyber security last year.
Right.
It's very well attended, but there's a few businesses as well who couldn't make it, who then pulled us aside and said, that has actually impacted us too. And I think it's a conversation that people just aren't really having.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. So, cybersecurity, be aware, make sure you've got as much up-to-date security in your business and a process. Final question number 4.
4?
Let's aim for 50%.
Okay, what should everyone in the UK receive on the 7th of September?
Warning alert by the government. Is it that one?
Well, you've given me an answer. I'm waiting for Simon to give his answer.
That sounds like a great answer, Will.
Yeah. Every mobile phone will receive a warning alert as part of the trial rollout of national warnings by the UK government. So if we have any issues that affect everybody nationally or even regionally, because they'll be able to dial it down into regions.
Yep.
So don't be alarmed when you get a warning on the 7th of September telling you to run around screaming in the air and panicking because the world's ending. So, but yeah, so I mean, again, it's use of technology and it's communication within the UK of what's going on, so that they can get people safe if and when they need to be.
Yeah, I remember they did trial some stuff. They did some stuff about COVID, didn't they? There was some stuff that was used.
I think it's 2 years ago since the original trial.
Okay.
So their first trial was 2023, and they had some issues with some of the phones and some of the networks, and so this is the next trial from there. So
yeah, because my mum's went off about 5 minutes after everyone else's did. So if there's an emergency, don't we know how?
Don't ring Will's mum.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
So there you go. So 2 out of 4, which is pretty damn good. So
based on where some of these questions come from and where they go. Yeah, no, we'll take that, Will.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
So thanks very much. There we go. Next on the agenda, we have grants for the memories. So Will, the grant man.
Love it. I was promised a theme song for this.
Oh.
No, we've got to work on this actually. So we'll. Yeah, it's
I can
work
sing
in progress.
you know.
We had some singing pre podcast actually, so I recommend we don't.
Fine. But yeah, I've gone out. I've looked for some more grants and support for businesses that's out there at the minute. And I've managed to find 2 different schemes that I'm happy to share a bit of information about today.
Brilliant.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So,
fire away.
Yeah. So the first is Realising the Remarkable. And this is by Enterprise Nation and Vistaprint, who have teamed up. And they've offered this grant before. So they're just bringing it out again for 2025. And this is to help startups and early stage founders to take the next step on their business journeys. The fund in total is going to distribute about £30,000.
Okay.
And that's going to go to 6 independent businesses in the UK. So it's quite a small group of people who will get this funding in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be quite a competitive one to apply for. But if you are successful, you would get about £5,000.
Okay.
The scheme's open to any registered commercial business that has a physical premises in the UK. And it's intended to help any recipients to develop and strengthen their business operations, with a focus on enabling growth and long-term sustainability as well. So the application window actually opens on the 11th of September and closes on the 30th of October. So you've got a bit of time to put an application together if you are interested. And for more information, just go to Enterprise Nation's Realising the Remarkable webpage.
Sounds good.
Sounds excellent.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
hopefully there might be some successful people around here. So we'll see what happens.
And of course, they can get in touch with you as well for
Yes,
more information on that.
Definitely.
Brill.
And the second one is a bit different. So it's more of a support scheme, but it's got an opportunity for grant funding involved.
Okay.
So East Midlands Chamber, as part of their new Export Accelerator programme, have launched fully funded support in the East Midlands sort of area. Well, the East Midlands Combined Authority, so Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. Any businesses in that area can access this funding. And they are hoping to support businesses to launch a product or service either in a new domestic market or in an overseas market.
Mm-hmm.
And also to help them undertake research in preparation for launching a product in a new market. And so any business from any sector can apply for this. There is a bit of a preference for manufacturing, engineering,
Okay.
Technology or creative and digital industries. But the training put together is worth about £2,000. And if you are able to access the grant funding, that will be worth an additional £2,000 to £8,000, depending on the discretion of East Midlands Chamber. And that can be used to purchase equipment, access consultancy and training, and as part of an employee salary, or to attend events like an expo overseas or something like that. There's also a variety of free workshops businesses can attend throughout the year, and that's on different export topics like documentation or commodity coding. There's also a similar program they've launched called High Growth, and I can share details of that if you just get in touch with me, either via email or via LinkedIn.
Bingo.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for those. And it's always great to have someone different reading them out. And have the person that usually sends them to us. So we've been talking about it for a while. So no, great to have another couple of grants that we can talk about.
Absolutely.
And thank you again for all the stuff that you do behind the scenes, sending us that information before the podcasts. Really appreciate it. We will put on below any of the stuff that we send out, your details, so that people can get in touch.
Yes.
And obviously request or get on the there's a list they can send you their details so that you can then kind of keep in touch, really.
Yes, send them my details, and if there is anything they're looking for that isn't involved in what I've spoken about today, I can perform a search on Grant Finder.
Brilliant.
Which is essentially a database of about 3,000 different grants in the
Fantastic.
UK, and we can filter it down depending on if you're a business, if you're a charity, anything like that.
It's brilliant. It's a great service, and we really appreciate, as Simon says, you supporting us to give us information that we can share with our community. So, which is great.
Awesome.
So, grants, fantastic. Talk us through the Economic Growth Conference.
Absolutely. So this is, I think, the business event of the year, especially if you're based in Newark and Sherwood.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Must attend.
Oh, you have to attend. Yeah, if you want to be, in that sort of incredible circle of lucky businesses, then you get in touch with me, and I'll sign you up. But
And I'm right in thinking you've got 10 tickets, not too many tickets left. We can,
about 10 spots remaining.
Brilliant.
So
Okay.
if you get in touch with me, I can sign you up, but they are going pretty quickly.
But there's already over 100 people that are
Yes.
going to be going in. And when is it?
It's on the 9th of October, which is a Thursday,
Okay.
and that is at Civil Racecourse.
Okay.
It's going to be approximately 8:30 till 2 o'clock, so it's most of the morning and the afternoon. It's a free event to attend, and there's lunch available too.
Whoa.
So another reason to come along.
Absolutely.
We will feed you. This is an event we've done for about 5-ish years now, exploring different themes. Like with a couple of years ago, we had sustainability and customer service. You kindly led the workshop at that, Simon.
I did on one of those, yeah.
Yeah, that was very well. The feedback was amazing for that one. So
Good.
Thank you very much.
Always like to hear that.
So this year we're focusing on resilience and growth in a changing world.
Yep.
That's kind of responding to a lot of different developments. Obviously, there's technological, there's AI that's come out. There's a lot of net zero concerns, as well as just sort of inflation and a lot of economic fears that people are having. So we thought we'd respond to that by building an agenda around that theme. So our keynote speaker is a lady called Bev Hurley. And she was involved in the Institute of Economic Development. She's now executive chair of YTKO, which is a big business support organisation.
Bro.
And she's going to talk a bit about her experiences with various different companies across her life and all the different concerns she's had over the years. She's going to talk a bit about what keeps business owners up at night, but also her sort of key bits of advice for growing and what growth actually means, because it can mean various different things to different businesses.
Sure, yeah.
So that's going to be a very exciting talk, and she's kindly also offered to lead a workshop delving a bit more into some of those themes.
Oh, nice.
So you can have a bit more of an interactive session with her later in the day too. We've also got our MC for the day is Laurie Buckland, who, if you attend Business Club, you will know. And she's going to be leading us through the day using her storytelling flair to connect all the different talks, and then leading a few kind of networking opportunities.
Sounds good.
In the afternoon. And joining them is going to be a whole host of different speakers, workshop providers. There's going to be opportunity to network, to learn, and hopefully to be inspired to make some changes in your business once you leave for the day. Really looking forward to it. We'd be delighted if anyone is interested in attending and wants to attend. So again, if you'd like to get involved in that, just drop me a message on email or LinkedIn.
That sounds good. And I mean, I've been to the last few, and I think it was one of those where it was always a well attended event. I remember one that was kind of pre-COVID over at the showground, and then it was one of those things that because of COVID kind of disappeared for a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I guess it must be, massive achievement for you and obviously the wider team as well to kind of bring that back and obviously, this one, over 100 people.
Yeah, it seems like it's going from strength to strength at the minute, and it's always an amazing event to organise. It's a lot of work for the team, but we have some great conversations in the day, and we normally always get a few people coming up to us afterwards, we've changed this from our business afterwards. We had a speaker, Jeff Ram, a couple years ago, talking about celebrity service. Yeah, that's it. And he spoke about instead of just sending an email, you record a video of yourself and do a personalised message. And I've had at least 5 people say, "Oh yeah, we do that now." Just sending videos, and I've received a video from someone.
Okay.
Too, and that was really great to see. it's having an impact on different businesses.
No, Jeff was great. Yeah, definitely a bit of an impact speaker. But what was also interesting was the building that we did that from. So the Pump House, wasn't it?
Yes, in Booton.
Yes.
That was an incredible venue, isn't it?
I'd never been there. I didn't know it existed. I mean, again, there's a lot of history in that building. And because I was doing a talk, I was actually able to kind of just explore a bit while other stuff was going on downstairs. I was like, this is amazing, this building. But I guess it does give kind of other people, I mean, last year we were at Kelham Hall.
Yes.
So people might not have been to some of these places as well.
Absolutely.
Again, over in the racecourse, it is going to be another place where some people might have been. So it's a great opportunity to hopefully learn some stuff, meet some people, and hopefully go away with some nuggets of information at the end of it.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, so yeah, it must be a massive achievement. I mean, in terms of your role at NSDC, so how long have you been at Newark and Sherwood District Council now?
It's almost 5 years.
Wow,
almost
okay.
5 years. Yeah, I started as an apprentice kind of mid-COVID.
Right.
And that was a strange time because I didn't think I saw anyone in person for about 6 months. It was all heads on the screen.
Is there anyone that works there?
Yeah, basically, it was sort of like, oh, you can't just lean over and ask someone a question.
Yeah.
It's sort of like writing them an email. Have you got 5 minutes to chat, please, maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they kept me on at the end of that apprenticeship. And since then, I've been taking on the grant finder contract and helping businesses there. We've done a bit of commercial property. So my colleague Sue, who did organise the conference before, sort of passed that on to me, as well as a programme of different business.
She still came to the conference last year as well.
She's coming again this year.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, yeah.
You won't keep Sue away from these things.
Fantastic. Has she still got purple hair?
She does.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. That's her
Love
like
Sue,
sort
she's
of
great.
brand. I think she has to always have purple hair.
Okay.
We spoke about maybe me getting purple hair, but I don't know about that just yet.
Ooh.
No comment.
Yeah.
The silence there on the podcast, if you're listening, not watching, was because we both went, okay, yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some nods. Maybe Phil nodded. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure I could get hair, but there we go.
Do your eyebrows.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
And in terms of, I suppose, in terms of the other stuff that you've done, would you say, I guess, the Economic Growth Conference is one of your bigger achievements?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's normally from about April each year is when I'm focusing on it. It really picks up around August, so now I'm sort of in the midst of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I'm really proud of achieving and hoping I can keep delivering each year. But then every single year someone comes up to me and is like, how are you going to top that? Like, I've got a plan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, already going into obviously the next one. So what date did we say? It was October?
Yeah, October the 9th.
October the 9th. And they obviously, people can get in touch with you. Same email address that we'll put below for the grant information. There is some tickets left. So please do get in touch with Will if you're
what was
interested.
the subject again?
Resilience and growth in a changing world.
Love it.
Sounds good.
I'll be there.
Yeah, no, me too.
There we go. You both signed up. You're both on the list.
Absolutely.
We're on the list.
Great stuff. Well,
Yeah,
thanks,
fantastic.
Thanks for coming in, Will.
Thanks for having me.
Stick around, and if you've anything to add to some of the rest of the show, please chip in.
Will do.
Brilliant. Simon, who gives a book?
Me. Quite often. As we said recently, I think we're well over 50 books that we've given since we've been doing this, so it's all good. People are quite keen on sharing them as well now, which is great. It's all part of what we said, so share the information around the room. So last month we gave one of Simon Sinek's books away, so we did start with Why. Discover the power of purpose, and he talks about the golden circle, and how every organization knows what they do, they know how they do it, but very few know why. So why is a purpose, it's a cause, it's a belief, it's the very reason that your organisation exists. So it really kind of digs into the detail of, what are you doing this for? And some of the books that we have given away in the past kind of follow the same theme. I think it was Blake Majowski, who's the guy that set up what was the shoe company? Tom's.
Right.
And it was basically do it for a reason. What was his reason? Every single pair they sold, they gave one away. So, it's starting with that why. And I'm sure there's plenty of businesses that have kind of just started because they started, but it's kind of coming back and going, why are we doing this? What's it for? What can we get on board with? So lots of powerful messages behind that. And one of the quotes that I pulled out that we used at the end of the meeting as well was, I find when you're an optimist, life has a funny way of looking after you. But again, it was looking at the world optimistically. It was looking at what you're doing and really digging deep into the purpose of what your business is all about. So it's a business book that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
We've given a few of those copies away. Simon Sinek's got a whole bunch of other books. I think we gave Leaders Eat Last as well was the other one that we gave away.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good book.
Yeah, no.
And we've got another one to give away. In fact, we might have 2 to give away this month again. That's why we've got to try and get to 100 before I give up his chair, before I leave his chair. So we'll see. But no, certainly a good book last month that we gave away.
Yeah, no, that's a book I've sort of used and worked with quite a lot. So I think when you're looking at business strategy, business oversight, it's a great way of getting people to focus at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because it gets lost sometimes about why you're doing something.
Yeah.
On the treadmill. So it's a great book.
Yeah.
Great book. Okay. Action group update. Normally the summer sort of quietens down, but we've had a really busy summer with the action group, which is fantastic. We are waiting for absolute official confirmation and the ability to shout about this, but don't tell anybody. But the December train timetable is going to have 2 trains per hour between Lincoln, Newark and Nottingham.
Boom, big news.
Which is huge news. And this is something that the Action Group has been championing for years.
Yeah.
So well before my time, we've had lots of people pushing for this. The trains obviously have, we talked about COVID just a minute ago, was 5.5 years ago, that we just had a really positive train timetable, and then COVID hit and it completely decimated, and they've taken time to get back, but for the first time we're going to be past what we had before.
Bro.
And 2 trains an hour, which is a real step up and helps Newark connectivity, both getting people from Newark out but getting people out of Newark in, which is great from a workforce perspective and also retail and shoppers and hospitality. So that's a really big thing, and we're working with EMR about the announcement of that formally. And once again, you'll probably hear my voice, maybe see Simon's face, because that's how these things work, on some PR about it. But yeah, we're really looking forward to being able to shout about that from the rooftops. So don't tell anybody, okay?
But it is something we will need to really push out.
Absolutely.
Because, of course, like any service like this, it could be taken away. So we've got to make sure that actually these things are used.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's fantastic that it's going to be there. So we need to obviously shout about it.
Absolutely. So that's great news for our town. Roads. So we've now had the next stage of bypass approval.
Yep.
So £500 million, £500 million of investment in Newark infrastructure to support the road network, to ensure that we have the best chance of getting those that want to go round Newark to go round, and those that want to come into Newark to come into Newark. We've obviously got the Southern Bypass, which is a further £100 million development, and anybody who goes on the A46 will be enjoying that at the moment. But you can really see that coming to life. It's amazing how quickly that sort of you can see what's going to happen there. So from a road perspective, our road network is certainly being invested in, and that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And finally, we had a retail group meeting at the start of September. So the advertiser got in touch with me last month in August to talk about retail in Newark. And as I've always said, the Action Group is about best for business, but a conduit between our businesses and other institutions. And the advertiser contacted me to say, look, we'd like to understand your thoughts on retail. And I said, as most people know, I've got an opinion about most things, so that's not difficult. But what's more important is, why don't I bring together some retailers so you can talk to the people who are actually in the know and are living and breathing it? And they were obviously delighted with that. So we had an hour at London Eye. So Paul Cotter very kindly hosted us, and we had people from Access Models, Jane Young, we had Crumbly Bund, Grace Gentle, Paul, Kingsman Interiors. So we had a real mix of retailers turn up and talk to the advertiser. The advertiser wanted to do a proactive, positive message about the retail scene in Newark, because it's a thriving little scene that gets a lot of negative publicity, because people, negativity sells news, and people talk down about, what's on their doorstep. We all go on holiday and talk about amazing places when we're away and actually forget how amazing our town is. So that was a real positive. So we're looking forward to that coming out probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks with the advertiser. So again, that's what the action group is. For me, it's about bringing businesses together, helping businesses to have a wider voice, a greater voice than them individually, making Newark best for business, and also then engaging the transport and these other areas, such as railways, etc., to put a business spin on what they're trying to achieve and make sure that businesses have a voice. So it's been a busy action group period. So we're delighted with what's going on for us.
Good. Next action group meeting?
Next action group meeting is the end of September. Is it
still over in the same place as usual?
We always have it in a pub because why wouldn't you? Yeah, it's the 22nd of September, so Monday, 6 p.m. at the Organ Grinder, the Blue Monkey pub opposite the Asda entrance exit.
And we've always said, you don't have to. Don't have to attend Newark Business Club meetings to come to the action group. In actual fact, some of the people that come to the action group regularly aren't people that go to the meetings, but actually do have background, skills, experience in some of these areas that we're talking about.
Passion as well. Passion for business in Newark.
But if you want to know what's going on, if you want to just, even if you dip your toe in, just find out what's going on, then please come down to those meetings. We'll obviously drop your details in any of the stuff that goes out on social media as well, so people can get in touch with you about that. And if you want to just find out a bit more or just go and have a pint with Michael, then
absolutely
go and do it. No, exciting. Lots of stuff going on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so September meeting. What are those that are driving, walking, running, cycling in? What are they going to see and hear?
Well, as long as your alarm does what it's supposed to do this month, they're going to see Michael's smiley face as you head towards the YMCA Village in Newark. The meeting this month is sponsored by Nigel and the team at Exposure Creative, so they're going to tell us a bit more about who they are and what they do. We're then, as usual, we're going to have table networking, an opportunity for people in the room to tell us a bit more about who they are and what they do. Prior to that, we'll have done actually the roving mic. Should have mentioned that. We do a roving mic at each meeting, so everyone in the room gets just the opportunity to stand up 5-10 seconds, who you are, what you do, and again, that's a real good opportunity. It's one thing that it does take 10 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes to go around the room, and we've discussed it so much, but it's such a valuable piece of the meeting where people go, oh, you do that, I didn't realise that's what you do, and it creates connections. So
I need that.
And we have mentioned in the past, please stand up and ask if there's something that you need. But I think that session took about an hour because everyone went, I need this. So, but it does allow people to go, right, okay, I've seen you on LinkedIn. I've seen your, stuff that you do online. I didn't realise that was you. Let's go and have a chat. So we do have a break during the meeting. That's always a great opportunity to go and find people, talk, and then of course, the YMCA's got the cafe downstairs. So we often find, I think the last couple of times I've seen you down there, we're working away after the meeting.
My little base now on Fridays.
But it works well, there's Wi-Fi, decent coffee, some cake, and actually you tend to find probably anywhere from 20 to 30 and plus people from the meeting that then go downstairs, that sort the next meetings, and it's a really, really good opportunity to do that. We've got the 2-minute spotlight that was picked out last month, so that's Chris Breeden from Prospero Mediation and Training. We're going to just get a quick update from their business. A couple of other bits that we've got going on, so we'll firm that up. You'll see if you're driving, walking, running, like Michael says. But plenty of stuff going on in the September meeting. Don't come in your shorts. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. But lots going on again. And
it's the last one where there'll be daylight while we're arriving, probably for a while.
Yeah, you'll definitely need that high-vis vest in the ones that follow.
So make the most of it. Make the most of it.
Indeed.
Brilliant. Okay. Anything else? Will, anything you want to add? Anything we should be aware of? Any final thoughts?
Some small things coming up additional to the conference. So we work with Notts County Council to deliver business support.
Yep.
So we've got some support surgeries coming up later this year.
Excellent.
They're basically just 1-hour sessions with an expert business advisor. Talk about whatever you want, any questions you have. You bring your business plan, anything like that in, and they will go through it with you. They have a critical friend approach, is what they say. So they will provide you good feedback and always realistic feedback too. So we've got that one on the 11th of September, so next
Okay.
week, and we've got one on the 20th of November too.
Brilliant.
So if you need to find out any more details about that, just let me know. I can sign you up for those.
Great stuff.
Thanks very much.
And thank you again, Will, for joining us. Like I say, always great to have the man behind the grants, the information that you send us each month. So thank you again for all the information, the time that you spend. And like we've mentioned already, we'll get your details so that people can get in touch and explore further grants.
Simon, anything to add before we go?
No, I think I was looking at quotes and then I thought, you know what, Michael's going to have something really inspirational to leave us with today. So we should probably hand to you.
Over to you.
So my quote for this month is, time is precious, spend it wisely.
Sounds good.
Definitely.
Have a great September. Look forward to seeing you at the business club, and if not at the business club, around and about for Newark business.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody.
See you.
Boom!